Hello, welcome back. Welcome back to another in between session for Product Like It's Friday, even though it's Thursday. I am back basically yesterday, no, not yesterday, Monday, I think. I came on here and I spent some time on doing some UX mapping of one tool that we landed on together last Friday, which was called the Thought Record. Don't love the name, but let me share my screen and just refresh all of our memories, including my own, because memory is not one of my strong suit, that's for sure. So this was the tool that originally we landed on together on Friday, on the official Product Like It's Friday. Wait, where is that? Okay, so the tool is basically, it asks you to identify a situation, your mood, and your automatic thoughts relating to that mood that contributes to that mood. And the whole premise or the heart of this mental health tool is to develop a more balanced view on some of the automatic thoughts that have been so ingrained in us. For example, mine is I'm not good enough. And that's an automatic thought that many situations trigger. And when I was going through therapy, and this was a huge, I guess, source of help, it was definitely not easy to try to find evidence that does not support such a thought that's so sticky, I guess, and finding that balance. But I found the tool to be so helpful that I keep wanting to share it with other people, and it's so hard to like share a tool when it's in the format that's not super accessible. Like most people I know who are struggling with their mental health are not going to go through a worksheet like this. So that's a big part of why I want to build Cocoon. But back to the summary of the last session. So last session, I came on here to map out this flow, and I think I did do that. I did accomplish what I was going for. But I think towards the end of the session last Monday, I guess, one thing I realized as I was looking at this full map is that like this one aspect of this one tool could be a standalone tool itself. So essentially a way to journal your feelings. So I still think this was a worthwhile activity to map out, because it is by far the tool that helped me the most. And again, we're designing for me, so I still want to do this at some point, but I do wonder, for the sake of like fleshing out the mood part, if we should focus on that. So I think that's my goal today, is to zooming on this piece and flesh that out. Because I think regardless if we do this whole thing or just the moods part first, this needs to be figured out anyway. So yeah, I guess that's my thinking. Okay, so I guess what I would do for now is to just first get myself a little organized, because while it's fun to be plopping down sticky notes everywhere, future Mary is not gonna be happy when she comes back and goes like, what the heck is this? So I'm gonna just name the section and call it like record map or whatever. Note that I'm using multiple pages in the FigJam, because while I'm usually not a huge fan of like large Figma files or FigJam files, because this is a side project, I'd rather have everything in one place and be easily able to navigate between things. If this is a real company, I might do something differently, maybe not, but that is why everything is going to be here. Also, just for the record, password is Friday for this Figma board. I think anybody can comment or can edit. Oh, damn. Okay. Well, that's why I'm not sharing the link. Okay. Thought record map. And then the other piece that I touched on briefly, I think last session, was onboarding. Yeah, I don't think we need to get there just yet, but it's good to have that for reference, because I think I was thinking about it as like just building up to the launch point or whatever, or the platform starting point. So I think for now I will just start creating the mood tracker map. I think it's not going to be as complicated as this, because it's less of a process. And I might do wireframes in tangent. We'll see if it's helpful. So for now, I'm just going to copy this step because, well, actually these two steps, because that's the most relevant to what we're doing today. So let me move the onboarding stuff out of the way. Also, for full transparency, oh, I feel like I just lost my train of thought. What was I gonna say? I think it was gonna be a vulnerable moment too. Anyway, I guess we'll come back to that at some point if it comes back to me. So I'm just gonna name this section mood tracker. Oh yeah, I remembered. Oh, we have a comment from Not the Piper. I think I know who this is. Bold move. Oh, are you commenting on my shirt? Okay, we'll see. My shirt says, I know I'm like tiny right now. Oh wait, I'm not even on the screen. Damn, okay. What is this? I'm such an amateur. My shirt says be bold, and then a tiny little line that says or italic. Not sure if that's what you were referring to, Not the Piper. Okay, cool. I am now on the mood tracker part. Okay, Not the Piper says I was commenting on the open document. Yes, this was intended so that my collaborator Adnan can access it easily. But I am aware that if I copy the link and share it, it's definitely a bit bold of a move. Thank you. All right. It would be really awkward if this is not who I think it is, and I'm just like, I know who you are. Okay, cool. Time for mood tracker mapping. I think similarly, I'm gonna map it out like in this format of like, this is what the product is doing, and then this is what the user is doing. I copied these two steps from the thought record because it's a good starting point, and blank pages make me nervous, I guess. So we'll start there, but I guess I will start by copying these headers. Okay, cool. How are you feeling now? Oh, Not the Piper says it absolutely is. Not sure what you're referring to. Like, do I know who you are or do I not? We'll see. We'll never know. Okay. So the product I'm going to actually delete that part because I don't need it. So basically, I'm trying to expand on this, right? And this part of the mood piece as a part of the thought record could be a little bit different than the mood tracker itself. But either way, I think it can both inform and inform others. Okay. I think what I want to do now is actually take these emotion wheel thingies, like references, and steal them and put them closer to me because I need them. Okay. Yes. The screenshot, by the way, is from an app called How We Feel. I think I mentioned it last time. I briefly used it at the recommendation of a friend, and I stopped using it. I don't know why. I really like how they represent the moods. I like the use of shape and color. I'm not sure why I stopped using it. I think I stopped using it because I don't know. I think at the time, at least, I was like, oh, like I don't feel one thing at any given time. Usually, it's a combination of different things, and so I struggled with like identifying how I felt. And I felt like whatever I submitted wasn't a good representation of my day or my moment or whatever. So I don't know. I think that was why I stopped using it. But also like I think a lot of the content in the app was like kind of too educational, if you will. And I don't like sitting through educational materials. I struggle with instructions, and I'm somebody who like learn more by doing, which is why I want to build it in a way that, again, designing for me, build it in a way that like show rather than tell, if you will, like show through experience rather than tell you how to feel, you know. Okay. So I have these for reference, and then the other thing I want to pull up is so I think last session I also mentioned that I have a Notion doc back when I first started to work on this project over a year ago. I have a Notion doc full of like feeling words, I guess. So I also have that open, but I don't think I can share it concurrently. So I guess when I reference it, I will share that page. Is how I will approach it. Okay, so let's do some mapping exercise. Oh, we got a comment from Not the Piper. Stopped using the mood picker. On both accounts for me, my own moods are complicated, and also I do prefer to see or feel the thing I'm working, updating as I fiddle with it. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah. There's also a huge delay. Yeah, I think no matter what platform we use to stream, that's going to happen, which I think, I don't know, I'm new to this as well, evident by my lack of self-awareness that I was not even on the screen when I thought I was. Okay. So I will get started. I think what I want to also keep in mind of is like this onboarding flow is like I have it in the back of my mind in a way that's like when you first start onboarding, maybe it could be good to like launch them into a mood tracker situation so that it can do something right away, you know, like rather than just be like, oh, you choose your own path and decision paralysis then ensue. So that's also what I'm thinking about, is maybe you just launch straight into the mood tracker. We'll see. And then in the future, outside of onboarding, like return users, that's when they land on like the launch point. Okay, so what happens when they, I'm just thinking about the first time experience. Again, this is just a really quick flow of like, what are some potentially helpful things that the platform may want to know. You know, like, do you identify as neurodivergent? Do you have a diagnosis of ADHD? This is more specific to an idea, the idea that like this tool is more helpful for people who might be neurodivergent. But I think it's also good data as well. Again, I think we're not going to touch this during the MVP anyway, but more just me thinking out loud. Okay. So how are you feeling now? What I really like about the color wheel is that I can be as specific or as broad as I feel. Like if I am feeling, I don't like having to tilt my head to read it though. If I am feeling sleepy, that's a very specific feeling. Arguably, is that a feeling? I don't know. I guess like if you're tired, but arguably in my book, sleepy is a state of like just a physical state, and not really a feeling. I don't think, but that's my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I guess as an example, I could be feeling annoyed, and that's a very specific feeling. But then another day, I might just be angry. Like it just might be like a vague sense of anger. And I also I like the, maybe that's also something I struggled with this app, of like how we feel, is that sometimes I'm like, I don't have a specific, you know, feeling here. Like I just feel generally upset, or like I just feel generally sad. And even if I zoom into it, I might not be able to pinpoint what it is exactly. And maybe I want the tool to tell me like how to pinpoint what it is I'm feeling, because we don't spend that much time reflecting on why we feel the way we feel. Okay, so perhaps I will. How are you feeling right now? I think I want it to be a visual, like some sort of visual representation, mapping of the moods, that you can zoom in on. Zoomable. Okay. And I will put this down here. How are you feeling now? And I think I want it to be more specific to like the moment rather than like a date, you know, like it's not like a, how did your day go? How are you feeling in this moment, perhaps? Although that language, I don't know, some people might not like it. I just have a feeling. I got a comment from Not the Piper. Would leveraging the color make sense? Yes, absolutely. I think so. I like the colors for sure, especially because like almost every mood wheel or similar you look at have colors associated with them. So I think it could also be like if somebody has gone to therapy and have already been exposed to a tool similar to it, there is that familiarity. Generally, I don't like purely relying on colors. So perhaps maybe like some iconography could be helpful, or in this case, like I like this app and how they use shapes. I know that in the screenshot, for some reason, the only shape is this, I don't know, edgy shape. But I think in the app, every like mood has a shape, which is interesting. Because I feel like a side tangent, side tangent. Sometimes, sometimes when I feel a mood, it does feel like a shape. Like it could feel more like a shape than a color. And I'm not sure if that's just me. And sometimes it can feel like a texture. uh, okay, that sounds a little weird now that I'm saying that out loud, but like sometimes it can feel like a texture, like a rough texture versus like a smooth texture, um, or like or like um, or like a note on like an instrument. Um, I don't understand what this comment means. Um, Clearly, I have not been on the internet enough, or maybe I just don't get it for some reason or another. Um, yeah, anyway, going back to the mapping. Okay, how are you feeling in this moment? And the user is basically being asked to click or tap what you're feeling right now. Maybe let's keep the zoomable stuff out of scope for now, but some sort of visual mapping of the moods. I'm picturing something like how we feel, but as a starting point, it's just the big categories of like happiness, sadness, whatever's. And if you tap into it, then you can see the more specific ones, and you can just stick with the happiness as well, rather than go to specifically, I don't know, joyful or whatever. Should there be a max? Okay, this is note from past Mary to myself. Should there be a max? Should there even be positive moods? There should be positive moods, because we're not talking about the exercise anymore. So it should include all the moods. Should there be a max? Good question. I think to start, maybe not, because I'm curious about how I will use it first. Note that I said how I will use it, not the user. Like, I don't want to block myself from adding 10 different moods in one moment. You know, like maybe I am a complicated person, okay? So I think no max for now, unless there is a technical constraint. But in my heart, I want no max for now. Okay, so in this case, user of the moods, I think I was called it like the basic moods, which are, now I'm pulling up the Notion page where I did some of this work. Oh no, my screen. Sorry, I am struggling with technology today. Give me one moment. I'm just on the struggle bus. Just replacing the screen share. Because I want to pull this up. So this is what I was referring to when I said I had done some work last year, just literally listing feelings, and trying to categorize them. I did some research on like how psychologists group feelings, and there are like a million different ways people do it. So this honestly is just one interpretation. But what I really like about where I did land is that I think to start, I will only care about the basic emotion and the feeling itself. But I like the idea behind the word valence, which was new to me at the time. I was like, what the heck? What does that mean? But it's really just like, is it a pleasant feeling or unpleasant feeling? It's just a category filter. And then intensity, I really like because like when you are feeling, what is it? Lonely. uh, I don't know. Sometimes lonely can be high intensity too. So maybe, yeah, I don't know. But I'm getting sidetracked. For now, I only care about the first two columns, which is basic emotion and feeling. Maybe if Adnan comes on in the future, we can store this in the backend anyway, even if we don't use it right away. But for now, on the user-facing side, I only care about um, the basic emotion, which is like that big category, and then the specific feeling. And there are infinite feelings that can go into each basic emotion. This is just kind of like a starting point. Not relevant to right now, but I had started like mapping out which tools can be most helpful for which specific feeling. Again, not relevant right now, but more just showing what's here. I think that's it. Look at this. Look at this. Me over engineering things. Classic. Okay. I'll switch back to Figma. I wish with the streaming platform I could use, like I could share two separate windows and just switch between them easily, because I'm using like the replace thing. Okay. Visual mapping of the basic moods. So the reason why I pulled up the Notion page, and now I'm just looking at it on the side, is that I want to just list them here. I think there were like 5, but I want to list them here just in case like there's 10 and I need to think about that a little bit differently, because if there are 10, I might approach design a little bit differently than if there are 3. So there's happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. This also reminds me of Inside Out, which, yeah, if not for the Disney, I don't know, trademark, I would happily create little characters for them. Oh, we got a tip from Not the Piper. Yeah. Funny thing is, I do have OBS on my computer. I just don't want to deal with it. I don't know. I think this is fine for now. I don't like share multiple windows too often, so it's okay. Telling myself Inside Out was a banger. I really liked. I don't think I watched the second one yet, actually. Or I think I fell asleep watching the second one, even though I did enjoy it until I fell asleep. So I'll have to watch it again. Okay, so there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 basic moods. I just need to write a clarifying comment on this, because I think in the future I'm not going to remember what the no max is referring to. So no max number of moods, or like concurrent moods, I guess, in the mix. Because I do like the idea of it being like a mix, like a cocktail, like at certain points your feeling could be just like bright red, but other times it could be like a mixture of red and blue and green and whatever else. Maybe not a cocktail, but it's not a. I do not drink, so it's not a great analogy for me, at least. Okay, visual mapping. No max number of. I'm not gonna put that in the bracket. But I do like colors here. Maybe what I will actually do now is definitely side tangent, but I'm gonna add these colors because it makes me happy. And yeah, I mean, we don't need a better reason than that. I will be following the more stereotypical color scheme, I think. I might even just look at what the other wheels do. So they're not going to map one-to-one, but oh, they made disgust purple here. Oh, and purple is surprised here. I like purple as surprised. Speaking of purple, just, oh God. Speaking of purple, well, since I started the sentence, I have to complete it even though it has zero relevance to anything. I was visiting family last year in the fall, and my cousin had a purple Tesla. That's all I have to share. But it was interesting. Okay, no max number of concurrent moods in the mix for each moment. Okay, cool. And then I'm just gonna put this away because it's not accurate. And then the user is, at this point, I think I'm assuming that we're gonna start with just a web app for the sake of speed, and yeah, I guess speed more than anything. And accessibility, I think, like being like, as long as I'm able to access it from any device, who cares? I actually do not want to install another app on my phone, especially for the purpose of trying something out. I'd be curious about people's last app they installed on their phone, because I don't know. Every time I install an app, it's always reluctant nowadays. It's just like, I don't wanna, but you give me no choice. So, okay, how are you feeling in this moment? And the user, aka me, is going to be like, you know what? Let's do an experiment. Web apps are great for sending to test subjects. Yes, agreed. Yeah. And I think it's also easier to like test because you don't have to be like, oh, is this an Android thing? Is this a Apple thing? Experiment with me now. Literally, I'm going to answer the question for this moment. How am I feeling in this moment? So if I am picturing these 6 bubbles, I would expect to be able to clicks on the basic mood that best matches my. Honestly, I think it's more like I will click on the thing that resonates with me first, rather than like this captures all of me, if that makes sense. Clicks on the basic mood that resonates first. And I think first I would be using, jeez. Oh, I did not copy that. See, this is my problem with shortcuts. I'm using like the same keyboard for a PC and a Mac, and my shortcuts every single time I switch back and forth throw me off. Okay. Although looking at this, I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna select happiness. Happiness is a strong word, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I wonder if it should be emoji based, maybe. Because like if I see a smiley face, I might select it. Versus happiness, I don't know. It feels loaded for some reason. It feels like I have to be like this, like rainbows and sunshine person to select that. I almost wonder if, okay, let's go with this for now. Let's go with this for now. Okay, so I click on the basic mood that resonates first, and and I think what I also want to, there are two strain of thoughts that's happening right now, and I would just type them down. One is like, do I want to zoom in to the specific feelings within the basic mood, or do I want to say I'm also feeling this other thing, like a secondary moods. And I don't know. I'm not sure what the best approach is. Oh, we have Adnan's comment. What about good or bad? Good, not good. That's very binary, though. Maybe. I wonder if it's because, like, if I look at my trusty little Notion page again, I do have the idea of like valence, which is binary in that like it's pleasant versus unpleasant. So I kind of like that actually. So maybe valence does come into place. What does the word valence mean? I have to know now. Let's see. Sorry for the side tangent. The combining power of an element. What? Wait, what? Okay. I did not make this up. I searched the word that is used by psychologists. Okay, I was not hallucinating. Oh, there's positive, there's negative, and there's neutral. Maybe there should be neutral. Now I'm just looking at Wikipedia. I'm just looking at the other comments. Emojis have broader context in addition to mood too, so that could get biased. Yeah, true. Yeah, I think pseudo-binary. Yeah, I would not mind that actually, because like it's a infinitely easier. Oh, now I'm not sharing my screen at all. Excellent. Okay, it is an infinitely easier entry point, if you will, and it's also, I think there's also like almost like you can identify the intent better, because if you're like thumbs up, thumbs down, you know, like if someone is here with thumbs up, they're likely just gonna, I don't know, at most tell the system a little bit about their what's happening, what made them happy. But if they're thumbs down, then you might want to dig deeper. So I almost wonder if it's how are you doing, and it's literally just thumbs up or thumbs down. Okay, kind of like that. Make this a little bigger because why not? And then depending on how they feel, would there ever be a situation where they are like neither? You know what? Let's ignore that for now. Clicks on either thumbs up or thumbs down. Oh, I should. I do like that. Oh, a slider, yeah. Oh, okay. I dig it. I dig it. Look at you, Adnan. So helpful. Wait, why is this like, why is this arrow not straight? Not that I'm judging there. I'm just confused. Do not apologize for idea dump. As you would say, apology not accepted. Okay, how are you doing? It's a slider. I like that because it's, while it's easy to answer, it's not so black and white. I did not say that. Okay, so user selects, I guess, like, I don't know what the verb is. I'm trying to think of what's the verb of like, it doesn't even matter. But I'm just like, I guess clicks on the part of the slider that best represents how they're feeling. Okay. And I like the slider because it also, like, not only is it an indicator of the valence, if we're gonna be using big words, it also indicate intensity, or at least the user's perspective on intensity, which is what matters, you know? Like, who are we to tell people how intensely they're feeling? Intensity is inherently subjective to each person's experience. Okay, so maybe it's an acknowledgement of how they're feeling. I think what I will start doing actually is going down 2 tracks, because I think it will be a little bit different depending on if they say they're all good or if they're feeling shitty. So I think for now, I'm gonna say this is the path of if they're feeling shitty. And perhaps in the middle, it's meh. Shitty. We will change the language. Why is it in italic? Great. I made it in italic, that's why. Somehow, I don't know how, but it was my fault. Okay. Okay, maybe meh is more on the shitty side, so maybe okay. Okay, so if they're on the side of feeling shitty, perhaps it's about like, does it even matter what specific mood they're feeling? I think optional. Maybe it's an optional step of like, is there any specific moods? Is there any specific? I say mood, but I like the word feeling more. That is coming up or something. And I guess this is where it comes from. And maybe this is just like, maybe to start, it doesn't need to be like a whole visual thing. Maybe it's just depending on how intensely they've placed their first little indicator. We just show the specific feelings that match both the intensity and the valence. So maybe it's a word cloud or something. Word cloud of feelings that match the. I'm gonna put it in quote marks because it does not feel right to use it as if I know what I'm doing. And intensity indicated. and I think it's a multi-select. So I will steal this. I'm gonna put this aside because it's kind of less relevant now. Specifically, I guess it doesn't even matter what if they're feeling shitty or great. Like this question is the same. Are there? I can't grammar. Are there any specific feelings that are coming up? I went to school for English, and I can't grammar. But I did okay. I did okay in school. Okay, are there any? Okay, and then let's put this aside too. I like this because then you don't have to be like, oh, this is my primary feeling, and then here are all these other things that are happening. The only thing that I think this doesn't capture is like, are there times? I guess not. I was gonna say, are there times that you can simultaneously feel shitty and great? I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so they have clicked on the slider, and then they're like, I say they, but it's just me. And then selects the specific. I want to give an example. So example could be like, if I say I am. Now I'm gonna pull up the Notion again because this is where I think it's the most helpful. If I am feeling good, let's do the filter. If I'm feeling good and I am feeling, I don't know, let's say high intensity of goodness. Wait, how do I select it? Oh, I'm stupid. Intensity is high, maybe high and medium, because I don't have a big library of feelings yet. Then maybe this is the word cloud that appears. So like the category itself and graduation was definitely both. Yeah. Yeah, true. You can feel nervous excitement, which can feel like scared, uncertain, but anticipatory. Yes, this is true. Yeah, I suppose. I wonder if it's maybe to start. Let me switch back to. I swear I don't usually switch back and forth this much. Perhaps to start, it's just a button that does nothing. That's like a bit of both, a bit of everything, or something. And maybe that's the case where we just show. I'm reluctant to like show everything because that's overwhelming, but maybe it's just like this is the primary action, and then for certain situations you might be like, I'm feeling, maybe it's complicated. Let's be user friendly here with the human language, because I guess I have definitely answered this question with it's complicated, you know. So I get it. Mixed feelings button. Yes. Mixed feelings. Yeah, again, we're designing for me, and if I end up clicking this button very often, then we can figure out what to do with that. For now, let's assume this is the primary use case, or the happy path, if you will. And happy path in this case does not mean that I am happy, which is interesting. I find that kind of funny. Okay, word cloud, match the valence. Oh, sorry, I just need to check my messages. One second. Okay. Are there any? Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, I was looking for an example. And the example I want to share, I guess, from that Notion page is if I selected, I don't know, fairly. Oh, sorry, just need to respond to a message from my partner about the dog, because yes, the dog did some weird things today. Okay. Example, if I am feeling high intensity greatness. Okay, that was poor phrasing. High intensity. I can't spell. Great. Then maybe the list. Maybe the list is joyful, proud, optimistic, whatever. I don't think we need to have the specific list here, but more just an example. How do you spell ecstatic? Great word. Okay. And then the user is selecting the specific feelings, one or multiple. And then I think I'm wondering, like, because we talked about like the idea of like incorporating some sort of like journaling as well, and I want something like something along the lines of what's contributing to these feelings, and display the selected feelings. Selected feelings. No max number of concurrent. Oh yeah, okay. So what's contributing to these feelings? And user is looking at the feelings they responded with. And then what should I be doing here? What should I see here? I'm thinking it could be good to have like, because on one hand I'm like, is this where people can journal? Just like free form. On the other hand, I don't want it to seem intimidating for those who do not journal, right? Like right here. Oh, Jesus, just an app just suddenly opened. I lied. I opened it and I opened it myself, and I just didn't anticipate that it would like make noises. I'm opening an app that I actually use semi regularly. It's an app called Calm, and I'm just opening it up for inspiration because if I recall, no, I thought it had some sort of like journaling thing situation, but maybe not. Okay, so I think what I will do here is first have maybe a list of different common contributors. So things like work, close. I don't know. What am I trying to say here? What are the most common what are the common factors that impact our feelings, right? I think of work first because I don't know, just finished work, I guess. That's also a lie. I did not just finish work. Okay, so work, family, I guess. Work, family, friends, intimate. Oh, I can't spell. Intimate relationship, I guess. What else is there? News, the world, the news. Okay, maybe let's. Okay, community. Let's say community. Friends, work, family, community. What else? What else impact our feelings? I don't know how to categorize it, but more just like maybe something happened, an event, or like something happened. Maybe it's just something happened, and the user can input what happened, or something like that. And I want to break down family because I guess intimate relationships sometimes involve family. So maybe it's children. I almost want to say pets because, as I mentioned, our pet did a weird thing today. So it definitely contributes to my feelings. Okay, what else? Even this is lame, but even the weather sometimes can be a part of it. I do want to add something about like the world, like maybe it's like the greater community, but that's kind of vague. I'll just put it for now, just like the world, because it does contribute to my feelings, at least. Something happened. Regardless, work, children, friends. Something happened. This should be, I think, a multi-select as well. And I know I'm not following the same format, but it's display selected feelings and then multi-select. Okay. Adnan says, to your earlier suggestion, Mary, what if you just record or write freeform without selecting suggested contributors? I like that for me because I am used to writing. And I guess we're designing for me, so I was gonna say, but not everyone likes writing or like is used to writing or like you can feel intimidated by writing. But if we're designing for me, honestly, yeah. And like this, if I can just write and it would suggest, like it would just auto suggest these things, I would be much happier than to like select the categories. So maybe we do that. Okay. So let me put this aside just because it may come in handy in the future when we're not just designing for me and okay, now I'm just overthinking. Let's contribute into these feelings, display it, and then input via text or speech. Speaking of text or speech, I do try to, oh, yes, perfect. Exactly what I was thinking. You can write or speak. I think last time when Adnan and I were on together, we talked about journaling, and I try to journal. I'm not journaling a lot right now, but there have been times that I have journaled a lot and benefited a lot from it. I find it almost like it sounds so weird, but it's almost like combing my brain. it's like sorting out the mess in my head a little bit. Although sometimes it just gets more messy as well, and that happens. Yeah, that's fine. But a lot of times, like especially if I'm journaling day after day, I find that it helps me sort out my feelings. It helped me sort out my priorities, and I am a better person for it. I hope. I hope. So my preferred, I guess, mode of doing that is by typing. For a long time, it was actually handwriting. So I would actually like use my Apple Pencil and try to write it on my iPad because while I love handwriting, I don't love getting ink smudged on my hand, and I don't love using paper. So I used my iPad and Apple Pencil for quite a long time. These days, I mostly type, like just with a keyboard. Um, and every once in a while, I use speech. And I don't think I have explicit logic when it comes to like which mode I prefer. At least I haven't thought about it, so maybe there's some logic behind it. It's not explicit, and I'm not like intentionally thinking, oh, today I'm gonna use voice. um, yeah, typing or voice. In an ideal world, it would be amazing if somehow I can also do handwriting, but given that it's a web app, I feel like that's not as likely. But you never know, and who knows. For now, I think input via typing or voice is good. What's contributing to these feelings, and then maybe it's then like identifying looks like your feelings of selected feelings have something to do with your whatevers. Categories. I'm going to call them factors. And then just going to list them in one thing rather than have them take up all the space, because I don't like large stickies. We can figure out what this is. Oh, geez. And I like this because then you don't have to say something happened, because you already would have inputted that here. Okay, so it looks like your feelings of whatever have something to do with your work or whatever it is. Maybe this is where the user either like user should be able to deselect anything that's actually not relevant. Okay, I am realizing I did not fill in the user column, the user role. But this is easy. This is just like either types. I mean, it's basically a journaling exercise. Journals likely as much or as little as they want via typing or voice. I like this because it's not just like, hey, journal. it's like, how are you feeling, and what's contributing to that. Okay, looks like your feelings of whatever have something to do with your whatevers. And at this point, the user can, I'm not going to specify exactly what's on the page or anything like that, and more just write down the intention behind each step. These are bothering me, so I'm going to take them out of view. And basically at this point, the user can deselect if needed, I guess, deselects any irrelevant, I can't spell, irrelevant factors. And then I guess they continue. I have not been adding like anything like there is a continue button or anything like that, because I don't think we need to. Okay, so here is, I think here is the mood tracker. Wondering what else is relevant here, because again, I'm trying to prioritize this flow, but I'm also thinking about it in the context of like when we do have tools that can help with specific feelings, how does that transition look like? Do they go back to like some sort of like calendar view or something of that kind? I like the idea of a calendar view. Maybe it's not the immediate next step, but I just want to capture that. So some sort of calendar view of past records, past mood records. I'm also thinking about it in the context of like, if I'm using this, what am I expecting as a user? So I have told it how I'm feeling. I have talked about what's contributing to the feelings. And then it has acknowledged that, like, the things I talked about, essentially, it has given me some like feedback. If I am a user at this point, I think one thing I would expect that may be out of scope is to identify any trends, right? Probably out of scope, but who cares? I mean, I care, but some sort of trends, and by trends I mean like for example, if I have identified negative feelings associated with the weather, let's pick an easy one. Let's pick one that's not so deep, because not everything needs to be deep. Then maybe it's winter and I have seasonal depression, and I should do something about that. If I continuously have negative feelings relating to the weather, maybe I should get diagnosed with SAD and get a happy lamp or whatever. By the way, I do have a diagnosis of SAD, which is, I find it hilarious that it's called SAD, seasonal affective disorder. A lot of people in Canada have it, so yeah, it's. I mean, I question who does not have this issue in the winter in Canada. And I was told to get a happy lamp. I do not have a happy lamp. Maybe I should. But it's not winter right now, so it's fine. Okay, so trends is my wish list. Again, probably out of scope, but at least like to start, like there's no data, so like how do you identify trends? What else would I expect? I think I want to, if I'm feeling shitty, I want to know what can I do, like, or rather, do I want to know what can I do? Like sometimes action is a part of it, but only for specific situations. Like it depends on what's contributing to it. Like for example, if it's a relationship related thing, then maybe I do want help with some sort of action plan of like, how do I don't know, communicate my needs, or like how do I express my I don't know, express myself one way or another, or like how do I like be assertive in a specific relationship. So I think it depends, unfortunately, and I think that's the struggle with like working in the mental health problem space, is that there are so many things that are very situational, that I'm probably not even considering. Like right now, all I'm going off of is feelings, like what's contributing to them, and the factors or whatever. And I don't know if that's enough information to recommend an action. I'm not sure. But I will keep this here. Like, let me try to come up with an example. If I am feeling, I don't know, disappointed because of a relationship-related thing, maybe I should do something about it. Have a constructive conversation with the person disappointed or something. If I care about that relationship, that is, which by default is like you wouldn't be upset if you don't care. So I would assume that if you're feeling that way, you want to take steps towards a better relationship. Okay, that's a bit of a tangent. What else might I want after documenting this? I think that's fine. I think it's good. Action. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it vague, like take some sort of action. In a way, identifying trends is also action oriented, because it's like, hey, have you noticed that, you know, you've been sad a lot? Oh, point out trends. So maybe it's like one after the other, but not always required. But again, I feel like this is just out of scope stuff. I think for now I'm happy with keeping it here, and we can move it out of scope when we do the negotiation. Okay. And then I think we'll go back to the calendar view. I say back, not like it existed before. But I think once the person has finished tracking their mood, going back to the calendar view. Calendar view is interesting because, like, I don't necessarily trying to see how other apps do it. For example, the app that I mentioned, Calm, has a calendar view, and it's literally just the calendar, and it doesn't tell me anything. It just tells me which days I was on the app. Honestly, it just tells me which days I am on the app. For context, Calm is a meditation app. Also great tool, meditation, great tool. I also don't use it as much these days, but I have definitely like benefited from meditation, especially in the winter. Gosh. So if you looked at my Calm data, you will see that in November, December, January, I meditated a ton, and then I just stopped. Anyway, calendar view of past mood records. I like the idea of like having like quick little snapshots of like colors, maybe. So I like that. Past mood records. I think for now I don't need to overthink this. Just quick snapshot G with the colors. What else can be there? I think that's it. Honestly, I think that's it. Um, and maybe the point out trends and action don't even have to be right after this, right? It could be like a pop-up. It could be like, okay, you're done. And then it's like, hey, like, especially like if it's a trend related thing, you can see on the calendar that, for example, you have 6 consecutive blue days. And you don't have to be like, I believe you. Like you can see right away. This also helps keep this out of scope if we don't end up doing it. Okay, I like this. I like where we landed. I'm just looking at time. Okay, I think I still have a bit of time. Let me just quickly check my messages. Okay. I think we have a bit of time. So I say we, I have a bit of time. So I think I will maybe do some wireframing. Do I dare? Do I dare jump straight into wireframing? Also, fun fact. Oh, I don't think I should be sharing all of this, but I got access to Figma Make, so maybe I'll try that in the future. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, I think I'm ready to wireframe, so let's do that. Okay, one thing I do want to do is okay. I was gonna say I want to connect the onboarding and the mood tracker, but no, that's just my tendencies to overthink. So let me add a page for wireframes and mood tracker. And the thing is, I'm fully aware that I'm sure there are Adnan is in support of this motion. I'm fully aware that there are probably many mood tracker like apps out there. Fully aware of that. Maybe it does exactly the same thing. I don't care. I mean, again, like I think the vision for Cocoon is beyond the mood tracker, but mood tracker is kind of a starting point, and I like it as a starting point because it feels like a natural place to identify what types of tools, or like what types of feelings that need tools more frequently. For me, again, designing for me. I feel like I said that like 10 times today. Okay, let's do the wireframe. So I brought the map here for reference, and then I will also, I'm just gonna like reference what we did for honeypot because my brain is not working extremely well today. So I'm just trying to see what the heck we did here. Okay, we just drew lines. Okay, cool. So I think what I would do is make this a bigger board, first of all, because things are gonna get spaced out. And I think I would just keep it on top this time and just have it for reference up here. Okay, and to start, I am going to wireframe mobile first, I think. I keep saying I think. Makes me sound not confident. I'm gonna check out if there are any like wireframe kits that can make my life a little bit easier. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. More just like, can it make my life easier? I don't want to like try plugins at this point. Like that feels like a side quest. I don't need website wireframe. Okay, never mind. Like I'm sure there are good tools out there, but at this point it's just distracting me. So I'm just gonna use trusty old rectangles and go from there. I am going to design mobile first, as I mentioned, because I'm assuming that I am going to use a combination of pulling it up on my phone and using it on my computer. And I want to make sure it's an acceptable experience on mobile. Okay, so first of all, let me. Oh, I know I said I will put this on the top, but I think I'll put it at the bottom for no immediately obvious reason. But it just feels more right. Okay, I think there's a reason. Like, I want to be able to see the sticky that lines up to product while I'm doing the wireframing, versus like the user action is a little bit less relevant, at least to start. It is relevant in that like I need to think about what the CTAs are and stuff, but okay. So first, just like some sort of, what are you doing? Honestly, like, most of this doesn't even need wireframing, but some other things could come out of it, so I'm gonna do it. In this case, I do want to find like a cute sticker because come on. Okay, happy. There's many happy things. Let's see if there are any sad things. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, okay. There's a no. Is there a yes? Oh, I love that. Okay. I like that. Sorry, I got way too excited for these stickers. I am going to have the happy one, the happy side on the right, and the sad side on the left to follow, I guess, convention. So if you think about a survey, usually 10 is on the right. And I think it could also be interesting to think about, like, even though this is a scale, a visual scale. Oh, I don't like the alignment. I want the body to align, not the whole icon. If you think about this as a scale, even though the user is not going to see numbers in the background, there probably are numbers, and there should be like a defined set of steps in between, I think. I feel like I talked about this last time too, about something about numbers relating to the other tool. Did I not? I mean, not that it's relevant. Oh, yes. The intensity. Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, this is, I already thought about it. Okay. God. Okay. And now I'm going to add, this is not the best way to do it. I know it's not the best way to do it. I need to find like an arrow of some kind. You know what? Who cares? I'm just going to do it suboptimally. I want it. No, I don't want it to be crooked. Okay, there we go. And this is a spectrum. The heck? Okay, who cares? I don't need to finesse it. This is just a wireframe. I'm just bothered that it doesn't want to be where I want it to be. Jeez. Okay. I need to just stop touching it. Okay, how are you doing? Slider. I know I had like, I think okay in the middle, but I don't think we need that. So maybe it's just, for now I am going to keep to the language of shitty because nobody's telling me no. So awesome. I like this a lot because it's not I'm happy or sad, and it's more. Oh my god! I keep messing with this. I need to just stop. Okay, shitty, awesome. And then there's the it's complicated, or I have mixed feelings. I think we can finesse the language later. But for now, I will add a button. Oh god, what the heck? What is this? Why is this so round? Can I not adjust the roundness? Clearly, I am a Figma pro here. I am not. For now, I'm just gonna call it. It's complicated. But it could easily be it's a mixed bag. It could easily be whatever it is. And I'm gonna have it as again, color doesn't matter at this point, but I'm just sometimes I'm too focused on the wrong thing. Okay. But I think on the other hand, I do want to like even though it's wireframes, I do want to like I guess convey the vibe. I don't like that it's in like 2 lines, but I want it to be like large. Okay. I really should not be spending time on this. But then also, why not? Okay, anyway. Why did I do that? Okay, so we got this, and just checking on the user side. Okay, user is clicking on the part of the slider. Click is the wrong verb I'm looking for. It's more like they are finalizing on the. I guess I should be adding a little like what's it called, like a slider itself. Oh my god, why are the circles so huge? Let's say it's purple or whatever. Doesn't matter again. And I think the slider should the slider be left to right or up and down? Maybe it's up and down. I kind of like that because it's like, are you flying high or are you although no, I'm okay with up and down. I have mixed feelings, but I'm content with that. Maybe on mobile it's up and down and scope creep, but maybe on desktop it's left to right. Oh no, I hit the word. But I think up and down definitely like optimized for mobile, which is nice. I do want the word. No, okay. Arrow should point to this, and then you know what? I'm getting rid of the arrow for now because struggling with the alignment. And then I will add it back here. Perfect. That also fixed the problem of, I know it's a minor problem, but like of the alignment of like the thumbs up and thumbs down with the weird body situation. And then by default, the slider itself, or the slider, whatever you call the sliding component of the slider, should be in the middle. Just bring it to the front. Okay, yeah, I like that. And I'm just gonna add a comment here and say, if possible, wider screen Yeah, I guess wider screens. Slider can be left to right. Yeah, I think I would agree that we can generally approach this as a mobile web app. So this is more just like a note to future versions of ourselves. Okay, how are you doing? Awesome, shitty, it's complicated. Okay, let me just take a quick look again. Part of the slider that best represent. I think we're good for this one. So the user is essentially moving this to be like, where am I? Oh, I guess we're not good just yet because we need a continue type situation. I would love. Okay, so I think it's complicated is a very secondary action. So I don't think it should take up real estate at the bottom of the screen, because for mobile that's like the primary action, right? So maybe what I would do is just have it as a smaller thing, and just plop it somewhere. Maybe it's just like I don't know. Like I'm not sure. I'm not sure where it should be. Let me put it aside for now. But the primary action should be some sort of continue. In my heart, I don't want it to be just continue. Oh, here I go, trying to align things again. In my heart, this is what I want. If the user says, awesome, I want the continue button to change to say like, I'm doing great. Or like, and if they are like all the way at the end, maybe this is like amazing. Whatever the highest possible feeling word there is. And this word changes depending on where they are putting their slider. Is what I want in my heart. We'll see if we can do it. Where should the complicated thing go? Honestly, like maybe I'll just put it here, like as a very like small thing. Why can't I change? Can I not change? Okay, whatever. Okay, this is fine. This is okay. Oh, Jesus. Okay, I don't love that. I think I will put this. You know what? I'm gonna get rid of that and just have like a text. Like maybe it's just a text link. And it's just a text link that is secondary. I don't want to put it anywhere near the slider because it might be confusing on what, like, is it applying to the slider, like where that is on the slider. So maybe it's just like a link. I'm gonna lock. Wait, can I not lock this? Okay, let me lock the frame itself so that I'm not going crazy. And I'll move this up a little bit. Okay, I like this. I think we need the underline. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm doing great. And depending on what they select here, it's like, oh, I'm doing really terrible or whatever. But if we can't do this, it can just be like continue, or like, or maybe like to start, it's just I'm doing amazing, or I'm doing shitty, or I'm doing okay if they're like closer to the middle. Okay, are there any specific feelings? So moving on to the next one. Specific feelings that are coming up. Okay. So this is the associated feelings. So this, because I'm lazy, no, okay. I really don't like this about FigJam. Like when you lock something, you can't copy it, which is annoying because I want to lock it and be able to copy it. Okay. I'm locking the background because otherwise I'm going to drag everything around, and that's really annoying. Okay, are there any specific feelings? Again, we can massage the words themselves later. So I'm just going to copy it. I am going to make this a little bit smaller so that it fits under 2 lines. So annoying. Okay. Any specific feelings that are coming up? I think I want to make sure that there is a simple representation of what they've shared already. Before I do that, let me just add a note here as well, that there should be some sort of like what's the word I'm thinking of, like maybe it's a 0, it's a 1 to 10 steps or something like that, so that it's not like free floating slider, and more of a, I don't know what word I'm thinking of. Okay, wait, why is this yellow? Okay, doesn't matter. I think I want, do I care about like a small snapshot of this? Like maybe it's like a tiny version of it, of like this is where you're at, and it doesn't need to be like explained, and it's just more like, this is what you said, in case you forgot. Something like that. And I'm gonna put this to front. Are there any specific feelings that are coming up? I think here is where we are looking to like suggest specific feelings. And I think I will copy the high intensity feeling great. I'll copy these just as an example. Just put them here. And I think what I would do is have something along the lines of, I'm feeling, and then I will add some bubbles of some kind. I'm going to change this a bit so that I'm differentiating between like buttons and tags. Like these are more like tags. So I'm feeling joyful. Maybe they should be like black and white. Should they be black? I don't know. trying to think like how should they be visually represented. Maybe let's start with a couple and just get a feel for it. You know what? I want more feelings. So I want ChatGPT to come up with some feelings words, because I don't love what I have here, and it's kind of fun to do that. So I'm gonna do that as a side quest. What's on the agenda today? What is on the agenda today? I want. Okay. Maybe what I will do is I am looking to create a database of feelings. This sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud. You know what? I will actually just, because I'm lazy, I'm going to copy, I'm going to like take a screenshot of my Notion page with the filters of, wait, where did I put it? There it is. I'm going to take a screenshot of my Notion page where all my existing feelings are. So for reference, this is the screenshot that I took with the, I guess, the attributes related to it. Oh, I guess there are a lot of feelings words here. Okay, maybe I did not need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Database of feelings. Here is how I'm thinking about organizing them. The specific feelings are listed under feelings. Is it feeling and variance under the headers feeling and variance? Come up with more feelings that match. What is it? Valence. I keep feeling cringe when I use the word valence, as if I know what I'm doing. Valence, pleasant, and intensity. And intensity high or medium. I'm just curious what it would say. Like, one, I'm curious about what it thinks about how I mapped it. Oh, okay, cool. Okay. Oh, wow. That's a lot of feelings. That's a lot of feelings. Okay, I'm actually not going to use this, but I mean, not yet. Maybe in the future, in the hypothetical future. Okay, so but yeah, it turns out I did create more feelings than these. So I will just add a few here. And I think one, I don't want to like overwhelm and like show everything. So like, I think I would just add a few and maybe maybe there's like a show more or something of that kind. Amused. What else? What other feelings do I want as an example? Playful. It's a good feeling. And then excited. Now I'm just listing feelings, and I find it fun. Maybe energetic. Okay, I don't think we need to like map all of this out, but I want to illustrate like maybe it's like plus see more. Like on one hand, I'm like, should it be like plus, like I don't know, 7 more or something that then expanded, or should it just be like see more? I think for now I'll keep it as plus 7 more, or yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm feeling pretty good about the progress so far. Even though I'm like being anal about the alignment here, even though it's not relevant to anything at all. I'm just weird like that. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. I'm feeling whatever. I am thinking about like what it looks like when the user selected. Like should it be just like selected? I don't like the black. Okay, I don't dislike that. Continue. Okay, I like this generally. Yeah, I like this. Maybe. Oh, how do I get it back to the? I think the only thing that I'm not sure of, and maybe it's not relevant at this point, but the only thing I'm not sure of is in a state where nothing is selected, it's not immediately clear that I'm expected to tap on them or like click on them. Oh, maybe what it should be is like a check mark of some kind. Okay, I don't think we need to mock that up, but I am going to add a comment. Add check mark. Just to make it a little, like increase the usability a little bit. But I'm not going to mock it up because I think that's a bit of a waste of time. Okay, I like this. Just looking down at the flow again. No max number of concurrent moons. Example, yeah, select the specific feelings. Okay, I think we've fulfilled that step. What's contributing to these feelings? Everything is usually the answer. I have to do the stupid unlock thing. Why is Fig Jam? Okay. I'm so like particular about spacing that it bothers me that Fig Jam did not just let me space them out evenly, please. Okay. Okay, so the next screen is what's contributing to these feelings. I'm gonna do a little bit of housekeeping and move this a little bit. Okay. What's contributing to these feelings? And then it's, oh, this is the input part. So input through any means. Okay, I like this. I think, I wonder what the primary mode should be like. Maybe it's voice. Like voice feels more approachable. You know what? Because I am designing for me, I am going to add my name on it, and also align the I guess the H1 a little bit. Okay, cool. Okay, so what's contributing to these feelings? This should be a fairly straightforward page. Again, I'm thinking maybe I want to capture these as a small a tiny version of it. So perhaps it's like tiny little tags, here. Why? Okay, come on, FigJam. Why is it so like particular? Okay, whatever. I am the particular one. I can't blame FigJam. Okay, what did I have here? Energetic. By the way, this does not represent how I'm feeling right now. I mean, I'm feeling, how am I feeling? I did say this is unintentionally, or maybe intentionally, a place where I'm going to talk about my feelings. So how am I feeling? The answer is we don't care. What's contributing to these feelings? I am feeling, okay, we don't need this anymore. And I think we don't need this at least until the user has had some input of some kind. I wonder if it should be, this is where I'm gonna look for a cute sticker again. For voice. No, there's no voice. Okay, what about a microphone? No. Okay, I think I need like not stickers, but maybe a plugin. Yeah, icon. Adnan said the answer is not we don't care, it's you don't want to share. Yeah, maybe it is. What are you gonna do about it? Okay. What icon am I looking for? Microphone. Because I'm thinking like, if the voice is the primary mode of communication, then I almost want it front and center and just have an alternative method of some kind. I think I want to design both, just because I'm not as certain about voice being the main thing. So maybe I will do both. But the idea is that this should ideally be in a button. How do I do that? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna just like circle it up. Nonsense. What am I going to do about it? I'm gonna keep watching. Yes, please. Yes, please. Bring to front. Yeah, maybe one day I'll share my feelings. I mean, I shared my feelings a lot. A lot of my feelings in the last stream, I think. Did I? I don't think like my current feelings, but I shared my feelings. That counts as something. Okay. So let me group that so that it's a big button. Big button here. And maybe some like user hint. I wonder if it should be like a tap, click, start switching of some kind. And I want it in gray because that reflects how I'm feeling. I don't know if it does. I'm just making stuff up. Okay. Yeah, I like that. And then I think the other thing I mentioned is I want like a secondary way of like switch to text of some kind. What should it be? type. I don't know. We can figure out the language at as we go, but basically this is like type my thoughts instead, or something like use type, basically use text. Yeah, we don't need to figure out the specific language. I don't love I don't love the look of this, but maybe it's a matter of adding. Let me just add another icon here. Like what's the best icon for typing? Type? No. Wait, what the heck? Okay, type. That's more like filling a form. Like I want to use like the pencil icon, maybe. Again, this doesn't even matter. But I just want to represent, oh, maybe this one. Like this is like more of a modern way of saying like writing. Did I add it? What just happened? Oh, do I drag it? Okay. Clearly I have not used this plugin much. Okay, so some sort of like type my thoughts instead. Oh, why is it black? Can I not change it? Can I change it? Oh, I can change it. Sweet. Replace? What? I thought I would replace. What do you mean? Okay. Fine. Wait, I'm so confused. Like, what the heck? Import? Oh, did I put it in the wrong import? Oh, there we go. Okay. I was confused. Okay. That was a lot of trouble for no reason. Okay, here. I feel pretty good about this. But I do want to create like an alternative page for this because I'm not as sure about like voice being the primary way of interacting with this. So I want to mock it up and see how it feels. And in the end, I think we're just gonna choose one and go with it rather than like fuss around. Oh, that's where it went. In the end, I think we're just gonna choose one. Like it's not like we're gonna have like which one is the right way to go. But I want to mock it up and just see how it feels. And I have a pretty clear idea of what it is in my head. So I just need to get it out of my head. So I'm just doing that. I'm doing that rather quietly because I have a pretty clear idea of what I want. So I'm just trying to bang it out quickly. Bring to front. I think this is what I want. Is this what I want? Maybe it's like something like that. Oh, come on. Bring to front. And it's basically start. Okay. Obviously, it's not going to say that, but something along those lines. And then there's a button that says continue. Oh, geez. And this way, I mean, yeah, this way it's primarily typing. And then this should be disabled until the user has typed at least something. I'm open to either, honestly. I think I like this more, even though I want to try using voice more. I feel like because we're designing for me, I think I spend more time typing than using voice. So that's the logic behind it. I think I want this to happen. So I'm not gonna get rid of this, but more just like put this to the side, and put this guy down here in the main flow. And this is more just like, this is something we explored, but we're not gonna do it probably, unless somebody convinces me otherwise. Okay, what's contributing to these feelings? Display selected feelings. We're doing that. Yep. Okay, I think it's good. And then the next bit is, looks like your feelings of whatever have something to do with certain factors. And then the user action is optionally to deselect anything that's irrelevant. This might be a little bit different than how I imagined it, so we'll see. I think I'm scrolling around because I'm like, what's the least amount of work I need to do if I like picked one of these screens to copy, if that makes any sense at all. Let me lock this. It's not this one. Note that I am not using FigJam shortcuts because I am not a fluent FigJam user. I think it's this. So I'm gonna copy this as a starting point. Lock this back. What is the shortcut? Tell me. Control-Shift-L. Control-Shift-L. Did I do it? No, I did not do it. I opened another app. This is the problem with these shortcuts, is that like they're not absolute. I have a shortcut that another app is mapped to, and it just opened it. And now my computer is like, what are you doing, Mary? Okay. I'm just ranting. Okay, so it looks like your feelings of ecstatic, playful, and energetic have something to do with your work. Oh God. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Do I still need this? I'm not sure. I don't know, but I'm gonna group it. I'm gonna group that too. Group that. I'm just grouping things because I'm tired of shifting things one by one. And I'm gonna group this. And I think everything else is fine. You know what? I'm gonna group this as well. Oh geez, what happened? Oh, it's because of the background. Okay. Okay. Looks like your feelings of whatever have. So I'm gonna copy this. This is a very lazy way of doing things, but there are no design police here, so YOLO? Okay, that's good. I don't know if I still need this. Like, maybe I do. Oh, I wonder if it should be, okay, like maybe it's moving this up and having the questions here, because it becomes more secondary than anything else. So maybe I'll do that. Looks like your feelings of these things have something to do with your... I don't want the same colors because they are not... Ooh, what if this is colorful? Like what if each factor is a different color? like the rainbow. But before I do that, you know what? I'm gonna... I don't know. Do I wanna... Okay, I will just add them first. Children, friends, intimate relationship. Oh god, I can never spell. Get rid of that. Make this a long word. That's fun. Wait, the heck? Did I do that? Oh, okay. Fine, fig jam, fine. Okay, what else is there? Community, the world, weather. Yes, all very important factors. Should there be more? Maybe there should be more, but not right away. Oh man, like I just imagine that when we build this and when I test this, I'm gonna be like, hey Adnan, I need more categories. And then Adnan's going to know all the things that impact my feelings. Okay, community, the world. But sometimes that is how I feel. Like sometimes it's literally the world that makes me feel a certain way, and not anything particular. Or like even if it's something particular, it kind of translates to the world. So, ooh, maybe this should have like every time I say ooh, I'm like scope creep. But actually, I don't think this is scope creep. I think like it could be fun to have emojis for these things. What is it? A suitcase for work, because that's what we do, right? Children. What's children? Like a baby. I don't want a baby emoji. I want a little chicken emoji to represent children. These are massive words, by the way. I think they don't need to be this massive, but it's kind of too late. It's not too late. Let me make them smaller. Totally unnecessary. I'm being totally unnecessary. I know we don't need to figure out what emojis to match with what factor, but where is... I'm trying to figure out what's a good like friends emoji. I don't know. Maybe like a... I don't know, like a... I don't know. Like I feel like there aren't enough good emojis for friendship. Should tell that to somebody, whoever's in charge of emojis. Like the only thing I can think of is like that emoji with the people dancing. like with the bunny ears. But it has a it's a I don't know. Certainly does not capture all friendships, I guess. But that's not why we're here today, so we'll stick with that for now. Um, on the other hand, there are like a million different like heart emojis. Literally, like there are just almost too many. I like the hearts with colors, like the different colors. I find that each heart. Oh, I have like a little piece of writing about this, but each like color of heart emoji means something different. Community. What's a good emoji for community? I don't know. Okay, we don't need to figure this out. I'm just being particular, and I need to stop. So I'm gonna leave it alone for now, even though I want to keep sitting here to find the best emojis for the weather. You know what? I will put the weather because that one's easy. I'm gonna put like one of these. Okay. Cool. We don't. I think this is fine. Something to do with your whatevers, and the user is now selecting which factors are influencing their ecstatic, playful, and energetic feelings. Let's assume that they are feeling that way because of work, the weather. Oh yeah, I said maybe we should use different colors, but maybe not. Maybe let's not. I feel like that could get chaotic real fast, especially if we're gonna like add more factors as we go. So maybe that's unnecessary. In fact, I will use like a more neutral. I guess blue is fine. And maybe it's these things that were mentioned. So the idea here is that the system detects certain things being mentioned and apply these things. I think in this case, I do definitely want check mark of some kind. So in that case, I will put the emojis at the end. Sometimes this is all my thinking process is just like which side of the label should the emoji be on, and you just play around until it feels right. And because I want to add check marks, and again, I'm not going to add it to the wireframes, I am going to put it at the end. Okay, I'm feeling good about this. And then this should be like done or something. Done. Or I'm done. Okay, doesn't matter. Whatever the language we end up landing with. Okay, and then finally, I'm getting tired, so I don't think I will map these out. But I think they're also fairly straightforward. If we do end up doing it, which we may or may not, I did not add user role items here, but I don't think we need it either because all they see is a calendar view, and I think in the happy path, which again does not mean that the user is happy. In the happy path, they are done checking, and I mean, in a future state, they might have some tools that are at their disposal, but for the moment, that's all there is that they're just done. They could start a new checking if they want, but I think in the happy path, they're not really gonna because they just did it. But that will be a part of the consideration for the calendar view. Okay, I think we're in the home stretch, if you will. I hate sport analogies, but I'm using one. Wait, why? Okay, I'm just confused. And I gotta not use the shortcut because that's gonna mess it up. I wonder if it should be like a snapshot, like before popping to the calendar view, like having like a, you felt this way and feels unnecessary. In this case, I am going to start with a new frame because I think the calendar view does not look like any of these pages, and I think starting, like copying one of them will just add more work for myself. So the calendar view, and I'm thinking about the calendar view as almost like the home page, or like where do people return to once they're done. That also gives me thoughts about like how do people go back in these steps. So I need to think about that. I think I will just do this. This should be and then I will add some icons. I need a close icon, which is easy enough. Oh no, it's purple. Okay, it can be purple. It's okay. And then I need a back button of some kind. It's also purple, which now I expect. And all I'm gonna do is just add it here because I don't think I need to overcomplicate it. Just like some way to go back to the previous step. And then on the first page, just some way to like close the whole thing. Why does it only want like tiny or huge? Okay, whatever. And then I'm putting it there. And doing that. And do that again. And maybe there are more factors as well. That's also a possibility. I don't like this left aligned. I will keep this centered. But I like these as left aligned because of the chevron. Do I? I don't know. It's okay for now, I guess. Maybe as we work on it more, it will become better. Okay, cool. Last screen. Let's go. Basically, this should also be the same screen that you see when you close something. You should see like previous calendar things. I don't want to build my own calendar. Like I'm not about that life. So I want to find something because I don't wanna Okay, what happens if I just add calendar? Paid component, daily planner. Ugh, okay, I don't want to do it. So I will literally copy a calendar somewhere else and just paste it because I don't want to do it. And maybe in the end I have to do it anyway, but for now I'm just gonna copy an image and put it here. I am sorry, whoever created this dribble. I'm stealing your work and I'm butchering it. Because I just wanna like represent what I'm going for here rather than like be like specifically what I want. So some sort of calendar there. Some sort of logo thing situation here. And then maybe this is the place where like, because I think one, I think this is where you can add another record. So like another, maybe it's a plus sign. Place. Oh, okay, that's neat. So maybe it's a plus sign of like add another record, and then also like this could be where the trend stuff comes in. So I'm thinking almost like a hey, you felt shitty for 6 days in a row. Oh, what the heck happened here? Okay, I don't know what is going on here. Whoa. Okay, Fig Jam having a seizure. I will just start from scratch, I guess. Okay, so I'm not gonna add anything in particular here, but more just to illustrate what I'm thinking in terms of like, maybe it's like a alert. Oh, what the heck? I thought it would be a nice emoji, not a like gray thing. It's so blah. Maybe it's like a exclamation mark. Oh, what the heck? Sorry. I am not having a good time with these emoji things. Okay, that's cute. Okay, that's not relevant, but that's cute. Maybe it's like, you're having a wonderful month. I don't know. I'm just making shit up. Or like, maybe it's like, maybe it's you're having a wonderful month and it seems to be related to the weather. I don't know what the point is for this like little message, but what I actually want to demonstrate here is not just you're doing great, honey, but rather like if there are also like warning things like, oh, like for the 6th day, you are citing burnout or whatever it is, as a reason for why you're feeling frustrated. It's kind of hard right now for me to illustrate it because I've been using a positive example here, but you get the point. I hope. And again, I don't know why I'm even editing this because I don't need to be doing this. And I think we're done. I think we're done for now, at least. yeah, and I think on the calendar itself, I'm okay to leave it alone for now. But in my head, this is just like each dot is a representation of each snapshot that you've taken. So in this case, it would be like a fairly green dot, and you can take multiple snapshots during the day if you want. Oh, maybe there's like a scope creep alert. Maybe there's like a filter here, or like a last this month, like some default filtering for the calendar, but maybe that's overkill. I'm gonna add it anyway, and we'll scope it back down as we go. So maybe this is like this month. This is like this week. This is like last 90 days, whatever. And then this would be selected. Okay, I'm feeling good about this, where we are at. I think these will be out of scope for now. May or may not be. But yeah, let me think. What are the next steps for this? I think the next steps, I mean, I can start creating mockups because tomorrow is Friday and we are doing product like it's Friday. I guess we'll see what Adnan has to say, other than the comments he's been leaving. And I think I'd like to align on if this is what the direction we're heading towards for like the first thing we built. I think it is, but I want to make sure that there aren't anything that I'm just leaving behind right away. I'd love to get Adnan's thoughts on my legacy playground. Maybe live, maybe not. Just more just curiosity than anything else. So the legacy playground is where I did a lot of like thinking in the past. A lot of it is, some of it is very high level and some of it is very detailed. But on the high level, for example, I have like thoughts around like why I want to build this. A big part like positioning of like I want tools that I need right now in my situation. And I also feel like there's a lot of tools out there. Anyway, we don't need to get into that right now, but that's how I'm thinking about it. So I guess we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming to this episode of Product Like It's Friday, even though it's still Thursday. Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for coming.